Tree Country 1330 WTRE at 7:31 on this snowy morning.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving and got to spend time with family or friends or however you celebrate the holiday. And we're back.
We're back, and it's winter. We had Thanksgiving, and now it's winter.
It's full. It come in with vengeance, right? We just full blast, full bore. And we had that little bit of snow a couple weeks ago. I think it was a Monday morning maybe. And then this week it's just been nothing but we're making it. And
that's right.
Our team's done a great job. Very appreciative of them and their efforts through the early morning hours and getting everything ready to go. I know we had one day of school canceled, obviously, but everything's been back on schedule, and our team's done a really good job with that.
We'll wait and see. We're going to talk to Randy Allis later and see what he says about more snow coming this week. So hopefully he's going to say, no, what's wrong?
I don't know about that. We'll see. But it's wintertime. It's the middle. We are in the beginning of December, and by the end of next week, we'll be halfway to Christmas.
That's right. You came back from Thanksgiving to Super Tuesday this last week.
Yeah, we had all of our meetings on Tuesday night, and those all went off without a hitch, I guess you could say. So we always do our water board first, and one of the big items, there was lots of maintenance stuff on the agenda, right? But giving some appreciation and thanks to the team who had worked overnight to fix a pretty significant water main leak on 4th Street out in the frozen bitter cold. And if you've not ever seen a post that we've done about the water main breaks, there's some really good photos of this one on our Facebook page, so go check that out. It's got the crew working on that, but 3 a.m. Call times are always just about the worst. I kind of sometimes think the 8 p.m. calls are the worst, because then you're out 8 hours overnight. At least they got a little bit of sleep before they had to go start their 8-hour shift at 3 in the dark. But everybody worked very diligently on it, and it is unfortunately just part of the process, part of the problems with an old system. And water lines are incredibly expensive per linear foot, and there's no real proactive way to replace them, and it's just part of owning a water company, I guess. So our team does a great job with it. It is unfortunate, but they do a nice job.
And they got it repaired. Everything is back to normal, and
except for the giant hole in the street, but that's okay. We'll deal with that. But
the
water line's repaired. And unfortunately, when we see this kind of activity, it usually means the line's failing. So if we hearken back to Broadway days of one after the other, then we have a probably more significant pipe failure, as we would all imagine. Most of the pipe that's in the same trench is from the same era or the same manufacturer, the same lot, and has the same weaknesses. Sometimes it's it's up against the stone, or some type of corrosion, or something very unique. But Broadway is, under design work. It is being engineered. We are trying to find a path forward for that project, maybe as early as next year, which will be great. We need to do that. But now that 4th Street piece is always raising its head a little bit as well. But we'll see where we end up with it. But it is just part of it.
All right. Great job to that team, though, for
getting
that repaired and back online.
Then our next meetings, the airport board meeting, theirs was pretty short and sweet, to the point. They were just doing some end-of-year fiscal wrap-ups. They have an annual report that they have to submit to the FAA. This year they had open, not new dollars in, but just open and managing about $5.8 million worth of total federal grants. So they've been very busy this year as they're wrapping up. That still includes some of the wrap-ups from the runway expansion project, their apron expansion project that is construction is completed on. The soil grading work's not done, but that's understandable. And pavement markings are down. So they've had a busy year. they're looking forward to what's coming in the new year. Jerry Scheidler, who's been our airport manager for a long time, is planning to retire. So there will be a part-time job opening posted for that before the end of the year. If that's something of interest to you, you can check out all of our available jobs on our website, greensburg.in.gov. And the ability to kind of shape that role into what you would like to see it be, and maybe what we want to see it look like as well, going forward for the new era of the Greensburg Municipal Airport. But Jerry's time with us has been long and prosperous, and he's been a great asset to our team. So we're sad to see him go, but looking forward to what's next. But that job posting will be available probably in the next week or two.
All right. Congratulations to him, though, on his retirement.
Yeah,
well deserved.
He's not out the door yet. He's going to help with the transition, so he's around. But he was talking about that the other day. He's like, I don't think I'm going to miss pushing snow.
I am sure not.
So that is a part of it. But it's a great opportunity to be a part of our team, and something unique. And if somebody's looking for a good part-time job, that's a good opportunity. That gives you some autonomy and some structure, and it's kind of an interesting industry to work in as well.
Very good.
Our next meeting was the Redevelopment Commission. A couple interesting things that were happening there, I guess we could say, is the housing study that Brian Robbins, through the Economic Development Corp, with the partnership of the RDC, the city, the county, and the county RDC have put together. He was presenting that. That will be released publicly. I mean, it's kind of public that he's doing it in public meetings, but the report will be released publicly after he completes his rounds in presenting that to the different groups that help fund it. So he'll be at City Council next week as well. So he spent probably about 10 minutes talking with them about housing needs. Obviously, our Redevelopment Commission's taken a very invested interest in housing as far as Liberty Lakes. We are working with another local developer on some condo-style housing. And then, of course, our downtown apartment projects we've been talking about for a couple years now. They're big partners in that as well. So that is also making progress in the sense that environmental phase 2 is being conducted and completed. Our economic development agreement with them is all but signed, and we've received some updated drawings from them. I think the product that they're going to bring to our community in the industry standards is called Class A, but top-notch Class A property that will be a great market for our downtown, a real catalyst for individuals within walking distance to the downtown restaurants and shops. And we're just going to keep talking about this probably for the next 18 months. We'll talk about when they're about to break ground, when they break ground, what they're doing after they break ground, because I'm incredibly excited about this project. I think this is something that, when you can interject 88 units, 105 beds right into the middle of your community without expanding one linear foot of infrastructure, that's a big get. I mean, if you think about, there's 100 homes, so we'll call that 300 beds, but we can call it 100, or 250 beds probably out at Liberty Lakes. So yes, it's bigger. Yes, it's a different style, but it's 22 acres. It's millions of dollars worth of infrastructure. It's another mile of road and sewer pipe and everything else that goes along with supporting that. Whereas you in theory, take a third to 40% of that and you drop it on one lot right in the middle of town. That's a big number, and I think it's also just a different style of housing. So I'm going to keep talking about it, but we're just chugging away on it, which is fantastic.
It's exciting to see some movement. That's been a whole process because of the money and all of that stuff. So excited to see some progress as that continues to unfold for us.
Yeah, and down the street at the old St. Mary's campus over at Heritage Hill, they were able to, through our Ready region, able to receive some Lilly Endowment Blight funding for the old school, so the old St. Mary's school. So they're going to work on that. I'm not 100% sure of what all they're planning to put in it, but they are making progress on that as well. They are also remodeling the rectory, the old priest house that is there on their campus. So if in 18 months from now, if you look at that, they've taken 3 four blighted structures, bringing those back. We're taking a blighted lot, bringing that back. Solid waste is in the process of moving and creating a recycling center over at the old street department. I have a hard time calling that one blighted, but we'll call it empty, vacant. And then when we're in 18 months, like all of those structures should, be online or in the process of being brought online. That's a big number. And then of course we've been talking about the old wooden bench building and what the McCammett group is doing there. There's a lot of really good progress when you look at taking empty structures. We've got a couple more in the pike that I'm not going to break the news this morning, but a couple in the pike, one including a partnership with Main Street Greensburg and another with a private developer in downtown. So, I think we're really trying to hit on all cylinders here and get the world moving.
Well, and you look at it, taking the old property and making it new again, but then also looking aesthetically at what that does to the city as you invite people to come in and visit the city.
Yeah, and it's things that you and I may not notice because we drive by it every day, but over on the old wooden bench building there on North Franklin, we got to come up with a new name for it. They need to name the building. It's the Wilder building, but they're on the northeast corner. They took off all the top front, which, okay, great. We didn't really pay much attention to, but it was falling apart. Pieces of it had actually fallen off, and it had a very old slate sort of vertical roof that stuck out over the sidewalk, and as they were taking it apart, it was just like disintegrating. Crumbling. And so it was that bad. And in theory, yes, it had been there for 100+ years, so you can say, well, it wasn't going anywhere. No, maybe not, right? Like, let's think of maybe strong winds or hail, and that's all of a sudden falling onto the sidewalk below, and all of that is being removed, replaced, and it is. I don't know that was original to the building. I think somebody told me that was an additional feature later, but it's safer, it's better, it's more updated, and that does add to it adds to the overall aesthetic, but also to the overall safety of our downtown, which is fantastic. So we're glad to see all of that moving in the right direction.
Exciting stuff happening.
Yeah. For sure. Final thing on was our Plan Commission meeting on Tuesday. We rezoned a section of property out off of Moscow Road at Veterans Way. This is one of those projects the local developer is working on, sort of like a full-scale kind of duplex community, so sort of like condos, but they're duplex in style. Local person is doing that. That was had to be rezoned from R2 to R4, so that is going to the City Council for their review on Tuesday, and just adding some more housing, adding more units, adding more doorknobs, which drives conversation and traffic surrounding retail, commerce, and service industries. And the housing study's helping that, so we're making pretty good progress. I think our redevelopment commission in January is going to consider some type of investment in increasing our presence as a part of the retail network, whether that be through gap analysis, specific training, or outside consulting. And so when we start having those conversations, I was at the Indianapolis Retail Show a couple weeks ago. We talked about that, I think, the last time I was here. Great discussions. It's long ball. They're looking. Some of the big players are looking, into 2029, 2030 already. So we've got to be on radars for some of those big ones well in advance of, we're ready now, and how about next week? So all of that is sort of, I think, hitting on lots of cylinders.
And that's a process. It's not, you don't go and they just say, we're going to come to Greensburg.
No, it is not. Sometimes it feels like that maybe, but it's not that easy, and it definitely doesn't happen overnight. And I was speaking to the fourth grade at the Greensburg Elementary School before Thanksgiving, and one of the questions I always get doesn't generally matter the age group. It could be anybody from second grade all the way through somebody at a retirement community. And it's like, well, when can we get a Chick-fil-A, or why don't we get a Chick-fil-A? And so having that discussion and conversation all the time is, government, cities don't open businesses. We just build the environment that they thrive in. And so sometimes it appears like something pops up overnight. Use Zaxby's as an example, right? Zaxby's was available and interested, and they worked with Tharp, who owned the property, and we made it easy for them to build, and great. So we all worked together on it. I think they're targeting by the end of the year. I don't know whether they're going to make that or not, but something like that. And then when you flip over to the other side of, trying to recruit something for years and years and years, topic that always gets brought up is grocery. Just constantly trying to recruit a grocery. If we can land a grocery store, that would be a huge win, huge success, years in the making, but nothing on that today.
All right, very good. You had the chance to talk with fourth graders, but you also welcomed JAG to City Hall as well.
Yeah, I think that was the last time. I think that was the day that we spoke last before the break. They came. We had 2 groups come through City Hall, talked about all the different offices and departments that we have over there. Great group to chat with. It's always interesting to talk with the different age groups. You go from fourth graders who have really interesting questions about how does government work, because that's what they're learning about, the branches and everything, and then you end up in the high school where some students are more focused on career advancements or career options, and then you have some kids that are more focused on just getting their attendance checked off. But it's always good. You never know what's going to stick with somebody, and we were able to show them some of the technology that like our GIS department uses, all the way through what our accounting and clerk's office does, building, planning, zoning. So it was a good conversation. And then again, talking about how do we work on sort of a more thought scale, planning scale, not necessarily about what's the skill set to do something, but what we were just talking about, how do we work on retail, or why don't we do this, or why do we do this? So it's always good. I always love chatting with the students in our community. I spend a lot of time at Greensburg, but also a lot of time at North, which is great.
We touched on the fourth graders, but was there any more discussion with fourth graders that you did talk with those at Greensburg?
Oh no, their questions are always just kind of you have some really good questions, and then you get some really off the wall questions, which are fine. And usually we finally circle back around to re-asking the same question and maybe exactly the same way or a slightly different way, and then the teachers are like, okay, I think we're done here, thanks for coming. But I spent about 35-40 minutes with them in the gym. It was the entire fourth grade class. They had just finished the government section, learning about the branches and how that works, and so they had a lot of good questions about, like, well, what about the court system or this or that. So really good group.
You touched on Zaxby's. We've got the Dollar General. Overall construction, this kind of weather, we're starting to slow down across the board.
Yeah, I think when you look, we've got, Fairfield Inn's been making good progress. Dollar General's making good progress. I don't know that Zaxby's going to make the end of the year. I think the last I had heard that they were still trying to. But they're making really good progress. So overall, that's been sort of where we are. At this point in time, we are not going to get Freeland Road done this year. I think we can probably
we can officially say it.
I don't know if I won't officially say anything because that's not my job, right? But I do think that we are not going to get that done, and that's a little bit unfortunate. But we will get it, in the process for next year. We also, very unfortunately, and this is quite frustrating, did not receive any CCMG award for next year. So Community Crossings Matching Grant, we were notified of that on Monday, and we were not a recipient, which is very shocking, surprising, and disappointing. It is a grant process. It is a competitive grant process. I understand that, but we are good match partners. We meet our match, and we supply, everybody supplies gas tax dollars, and I want to see those come back to our community. It is how we do paving projects. It is how we do microsurfacing projects, and just a little bit frustrated with that. We are not alone. Unfortunately, a lot of mayors, and I'm headed to the Mayor's Institute today, which is sort of our winter training, if you will. And I'm sure it's going to be a hot topic because it seems like a lot of mayors in our region, Shelbyville, Batesville, North Vernon, I don't think Seymour, received any funding. Zero. Not even a partial funding. And that's, to my knowledge, never really been the case. So,
was funding overall for that grant process cut back? Is that an influence, or unsure at this point?
I don't know the answer to that, but it's 230 some million is what they awarded. There are 92 counties. You're capped at $1 million. Okay, so let's just assume every county, and I'm sure not every county got it. There are 132 cities, and then there's a ton of towns, obviously. So for that many communities of reasonable size, which I'll just put all of those I just mentioned in, right? We're not a city of 500. We're not a city of 1,000. We're 12,500 people. To get $0 out of we asked for 700,000. To get zero is quite frustrating. So I'm sure that will get brought up a little bit. It's something else going on, at NDOT and state level. We'll continue forward, but that's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for next year for sure.
More discussion, I'm sure, will be happening at some point.
I think so.
All right. Winter weather has hit, and you kind of touched on that, but crews have been out doing a great job getting roads clean. And
yeah, our team's done a wonderful job. EMA, Mike Snyder and Gary Hash over there did a wonderful job of keeping everybody updated as to where everybody was. Our crews started at about 4 in the morning on Monday, ran plows as long as possible, and then we had double trash day because Monday was Thanksgiving's Day trash, and then of course we still had the freezing and some more little bit of skiff on Tuesday. We ran more plow trucks, and then ran double trash on Tuesday because Tuesday is Friday's day. I was talking to Street Commissioner Klosterkamper, and he was like, "I've been here a long time. I think he's been here 18 years." He said, "I've never had snow the Monday after Thanksgiving to run snow and double trash, much less 2 days in a row." And so it's been a rough week for those guys, but greatly appreciate their efforts, and County Highway and NDOT's team and everybody that helps put it all together. But yeah, been a long week for those guys.
You also had the opportunity before Thanksgiving to do a ride along with the Greensboro Police Department.
Yeah, I try to do one of those every year, and this year's flown by, and I had an opportunity to ride with Police Officer John Amos, who was a canine officer in Jennings County, and then his dog Dino was the one that died. And so we are in the process of working on getting him a new dog. So I had an opportunity to ride with him. And then I spent a few hours with Officer Dylan Abel as well. And so I spent about 8 or 9 hours, I think, in a police car on Saturday night before Thanksgiving, and sort of just chit-chat with them about their jobs, what they're doing, what they're seeing, what they need help with, what's going well, what's not going well, and getting to know them a little bit better along with some of the other members of our force. It's always a great opportunity, and I don't ever wish a wreck on anyone, but we had the opportunity to respond to a wreck that had some minor injuries, but I've only ever seen us do that in a confined setting, right? So in a way that is the mock car crash at the hospital or National Night Out. Like, there was no auto extrication in this one, thankfully. But how the teams all actually work together live in real life, in an uncoordinated, unscheduled way. And EMS, the wreckers, fire, police, all really kind of working. So it was kind of interesting to watch it happen in real life versus in a setting. But this is, I think, the 4th time I've done a ride along over the last 5 years, and the teams do a great job and really enjoy it, and appreciate them allowing me to ride shotgun.
It's amazing as you talk about watching them at that scene, how they just all, without even really talking, know what they're doing. They just go into action.
And you've got the folks, and it's quick. I'm sure if you're involved in it, it seems like forever, but I think we were there 22 minutes. So if you think about a 2-car wreck, 2 people went to the hospital, 1 individual did not, two wreckers, and 22 minutes, and it's cleaned
Fast.
up and everything. And not to make light of it, I'm not making light of it in any capacity, but for lack of better terms, it's on to the next thing, right? We left there, and we went and had a couple traffic stops from reported drivers, right? So I mean, you just never know.
You never know.
That's what it is.
Whole new perspective,
That's
isn't
right.
it? Very good. As we go into the weekend, it's all holiday this weekend.
That's right. So if you, the CMH has their holiday lane Friday, 5 to 7. There's all kinds of stuff out there. And
Yeah, you kind of walk through the walking trail, and several different booths will be set up, giving out different fun items, and Santa Claus will be there.
They always do a good job with that as well. That's something that they've been working on over the last couple of years, but it's out behind the new rehab building. So you can park there in the main lot and walk over. It's free. It's a great opportunity. So that's Friday night. And then Saturday's the big show downtown. It's the Main Street Greensburg Holiday Walk. You and I are going to be hosting that.
That's right. We've been gearing up. It's the 10th year, which just seems a little incredible to me.
It is, and they've been doing a wonderful job of getting it all put together. There's tons of events going on. Check out the Main Street social media for the full schedule, but they start at 2 o'clock and go all the way until the parade at 5:30. Kathy Versman's been organizing the parade, so if you want to be in the parade, there is still time. It is a lighted parade, so you get to throw on all your fun lighted activities and items. And come on out. I think lineup for that starts at 4:45.
I think so. 4:30, 4:45, somewhere in there.
Up at the First Presbyterian Church, I think.
It is, yes. And they're going to just line up as they come, and we're always excited as they come around that corner from the downtown, and we get to see what they've done, how they've decorated.
And we're going to be there on the east side of the square, so that's where we'll call the parade from. You can watch on YouTube or listen here on the air if you'd like. YouTube's WTRE radio. You can. We'll have it live streamed. We'll have the parade and the announcing. It's kind of like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade.
Kind of so.
On a 1/1,000,000th of the budget. So
one day we're going to get there.
That's right. You can follow along, join if somebody's in it, somebody can't attend, somebody wants to attend, or maybe they live in Singapore. You can send them the link, and they can participate in all the Tree City fun.
That's right. And the tree lighting will be right after the parade. So, and Greensburg elementary.
Yep, elementary holiday choir will be there. They're going to sing a few carols as we transition to the tree lighting. And then we'll light the tree. That'll probably be about 6:30 if I had to guess.
I think that's around there.
6:15, 6:30, somewhere there.
So Santa Claus is somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus will join you as you light the tree.
Yeah.
And they will be downtown. So at the Historical Society, Santa will be there like always. And we get the first visit.
We do, yeah. We cheat. We go in the exit. But it is a part of our schedule. Most people don't realize we get a full schedule for the day.
We do.
And you can follow along with us live, obviously, if you want to follow us around all day. I guess you're welcome to do that. Seems kind of odd, but you're welcome.
And a little boring, we'll be honest.
Yeah, a little boring. You can right here on the air. So every half an hour, we will be on the air talking about what's going on and where. And so again, if you can't make it, or if you're not quite sure what time you're going to get there, you can do that. And then I think BJ's got some Christmas music lined up for us.
She's got us all ready to go.
And you can also follow along on Main Street Greensburg's Facebook page. We're going to hop on about every hour on that and do some Facebook Lives from around downtown. So please come out and join us. It's a great opportunity. Tons and tons of free stuff for the kids to do. One thing that I'm really interested to see this year is Heritage Hill is doing Gingerbread Alley in Alley 1822. They're on the south side of the square. They've got these gigantic, like, cardboard gingerbread houses that kids can stop and decorate. And Emily Manship is wonderful, but she's also incredibly creative. So I'm excited to see what she's got. And then she also has a little bit of a surprise. I won't give the surprise away. We'll see when she gets it there. So you'll definitely want to come out to the Alley 1822. Of course, painting the town's back there. So there's an opportunity for you can go in there. Now, when you think about the businesses, not everything in the businesses are free, right? But there's a lot of free stuff to do as a part of the event. Go and support the businesses and shop downtown for some holiday gifts. And it'll be good.
Restaurants are open. It's a great day to just spend downtown. And starting at 2 o'clock this year, they pushed that back a little bit. So you can come downtown, do all of the activities, and then be ready for the parade.
Yes. Santa and Mrs. Claus leave at 4:30. I think you need to be through there by 4:30 so that they can go get in the parade lineup.
That's right. The Grinch will be down at Schlimmer, so if the Grinch is your style, then he'll be down there taking pictures.
Yeah, and Main Street, this is probably something good to know. Main Street will have their tent. I think they're set up on the northeast corner, so sort of by like the Robbins Law Office and on the Franklin Street side. They'll be set up. They have a map with all the activities going on because so many of them are inside buildings, and there's a map that you can do, and then on the map there's a QR code to scan to vote for People's Choice in the parade.
Yes.
So you will definitely want to be sure you get one of those, not only for the information but also for the QR code.
That's right. Also, Anna and Elsa will be back at Pickers. I just learned this.
That's
yeah,
good.
Just got confirmation that they're coming back. So
Well, glad
they're
they
always
made it.
yes, they're always a big draw too. So we'll see you downtown on Saturday. We're excited for that. Again, it starts at 2:00. Parade will kick off at 5:30, and then we'll light the tree.
That's right.
All right. Anything else going on that we need to know about?
I think that's it. We are, 3 weeks from Christmas. So get ready. Here it comes. And
Quickly.
we'll see you downtown on Saturday. Please come down and join us. It's a great community event. Please stay for the tree lighting. It's a phenomenal hallmark moment.
I love it.
In our town. And it's really grown into something special. So we'll see you Saturday at the Main Street Greensburg Holiday Walk.